back, everybody, to Words with Wayman. I am your host, as always, Matt Wayman. As always, support us online, guys. Words with Wayman on Twitter, Words with Wayman on Facebook. You guys know the deal. You've been listening for a little bit, hopefully. We're going to hop right in, guys. Hot and Spicy, Part 1, local St. Louis artist, creative, my friend, Hope Ainsworth, everybody. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very excited, I know. She's a little nervous, guys. She's going to knock this one out of the park. We're going to have a good time. I always start off the podcast every time, just like from the beginning. Where were you born?
Kansas City, Missouri.
Kansas City, Missouri. Hotbed for creativity in the Midwest, everybody. Did you grow up in Kansas City?
I grew up in New Franklin, Fayette, Missouri.
Oh, which is what it's, I guess, to explain, probably kind of like in the middle between St. Louis and Columbia, kind of? Or Kansas City and Columbia? North of Columbia.
Yeah.
Population of what? Small town?
1,100.
1,100. That's insane. How long did you live there till?
About 10 years.
10
8
years? How was that growing up in like a small town with not too many people around?
Oh, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Riding on back roads was my favorite thing.
And just like being out in nature and being like, pretty much being able to do whatever you wanted to do.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I tell people, even like growing up in St. Louis, is like we had a bunch of free reign to pretty much do whatever we wanted to, and nobody really stopped you.
Run around in fields.
Yeah, light some fields on fire if you feel like it. Cause some ruckus. So, why did you guys move out of there?
Moved to Trenton, Missouri to go to junior college, and then went from there to Columbia.
Okay. How was Trenton?
Trenton was same thing, small place.
What's the college down there? The junior college?
North Central
Missouri College.
Yeah. I went there for softball.
Oh, cool. You had a scholarship?
Yeah.
Now you're like, it's softball time. You don't put out a strong softball vibe. I don't know if anybody else.
I still play slow pitch every summer.
Oh, cool. How's that? Has that just always been a passion?
It's just always fun.
Yeah.
Something to do that's active.
Yeah, my mom always played, and my dad played softball for years and years. I grew up around softball.
It's the shit.
It's awesome. So then you played softball down there for a little bit, and then how'd that go?
Oh, it was good. We did well. We were a pretty good team for such a small school.
Yeah.
We beat Mizzou.
Nice. And I saw them.
It was their junior varsity team.
Oh, cool.
Whatever you call that.
They're like doing super well. They did really well in this year's softball college world championships and stuff, or the World Series and stuff.
I don't pay attention.
So you took them down early. You got them back when they were young, and then you ended up moving down to Columbia. How did that happen?
Went to school there, transferred there, studied art, and then lived there for about 7 years.
7 years. That's where we initially met the first time, through my now fiance, Haley, who is, we recorded an episode with her, which will be up later. She's a jeweler. But you guys, so how was the art program down there?
It was good, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Did you always...
I didn't enjoy art school.
Yeah.
I liked taking the classes. I took every class that was possible.
The methods, you mean? Like people teaching you how to do the stuff?
Yeah.
What, you just didn't like the judgment or the critiques that everybody gave?
Oh, yeah. It was, yeah, I made some friends there, but overall, it was tough.
Yeah.
Going through day to day.
When did you find art? Was it when you were younger?
Yeah, real little.
How old were you then?
Ooh. I mean, I remember starting to sew, I don't know, 5, 6 years old.
That's early.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Sewing.
Yeah, just like doing embroidery and stuff like that. Was it that something that your mom did or your grandma?
I had a neighbor, Aunt Martha, we called her.
Yeah.
I'd go across the street and we'd make little hearts with lace around the edge.
Cool.
And she'd spray it with her old perfume.
Oh, that's cool. So, but it was like, so she encouraged it kind of a little bit?
I don't know if she really encouraged it. I think I just hung out there all the time.
Yeah.
That was something she did, and
nice.
Since I was in the way, might as well let me do it too.
No, that's cool. I mean, that definitely, at least figuring out that you can create something and actually make something from scratch. Sewing's always been something that I've always wanted to get into, because it seems like one of those that it's really reassuring. Like you set out to do something and it takes a little while, but you get a finished product right away.
Yeah.
And it's usually, for the most part, probably better than you thought it would be in the first place.
You surprise yourself.
No, definitely. And that's what, I feel like art is such a big thing, too, that even when you come up with paintings and stuff, you surprise yourself a lot as well. So you were living down in Columbia, living that, and then how did your art change from the time? Like, what mediums did you go through as you were growing up?
Well, I was always doing different stuff. I did a lot of drawing and painting, just learning that in art class.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was at home, I remember cutting up a bunch of my mom's pie tins to make something, and making pillows and cutting up old rummage sale clothes.
Yeah. It seems like definitely, I mean, check her stuff out online now, Kelly Power, on Facebook and stuff, but you do go from that to more of like a reclaimed aesthetic is what it seems.
I guess.
Or repurposing, maybe.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff I use I find.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And using materials that I also find.
Yeah.
A lot of times. I mean, I do buy materials too, but I don't know, it makes it a little bit different, I think.
Makes it probably a little bit harder. You actually have to explore a little bit to be able to how to find a way to actually make these things work within a certain context.
Yeah.
And I mean, you get to breathe new life in these things that otherwise somebody had cast off anyway.
Yeah.
St. Louis is usually like that. I even drive the streets now whenever I come home, and it's like people throw away awesome stuff all the time.
I have bags of Mardi Gras beads.
Yeah. So that's a different thing. So we actually lived in New Orleans together at the same time. I'd graduated college with my fiance, and you and your man boy, Jonathan Sprinkle, you guys moved down there a little bit before we did.
Yeah, a couple months.
Yeah. And that, you still have bags. I remember going to those Mardi Gras parades, but what was the impetus to move down there?
I don't know, that was kind of random. We lived in France for a little bit,
Yeah.
and came back to Columbia. Didn't really, kind of kept wanting to keep going, so we decided to drive south and stop wherever.
Yeah, because originally you guys had
thought
thought about going to Texas, right, or onto the border.
Yeah,
of
we
Texas.
thought about Texas, and then we just kind of took the back ways down. Was it Alabama and Mississippi?
Crazy.
Tennessee.
It was when we were living down there, it was post Hurricane Katrina, which I think definitely affected a lot of the emotions and sentiments that were going on in the city. The fact that there were a lot of new people moving into the city after that. I feel like when we were living down there was a significant amount of people that were coming into the city and kind of, I don't know, necessarily breathing new life into it, because I think that's one of the most vibrant cities in the world, but just probably changing it, because people have told me numerous times that the New Orleans that we lived in was not the New Orleans that it used to be.
Right, and they say it's completely different even now.
Yeah, even which is a crazy thing to know that a city can go through that many changes in just like a couple of years. But when I loved living down there so much, because I felt like it was not only artistically beautiful. I mean, the first Fridays they had down there.
Yeah.
Like you could just go and walk down 4, 5, 6 streets.
Just walking through the neighborhoods, people, I mean, their houses were beautiful, and all the shit that they had in their yards was awesome.
Different colors. You guys had an artist that used to live right next to you guys too. Was that a photographer or something, that older dude?
Oh, you're talking about Barry.
Yeah, Barry.
Yeah. What's his last name?
But just a creative town, I felt like. There was...
Barry Stone Bailey.
Barry Stone Bailey. Hit him up on... I wonder if he's probably got a Twitter and an Instagram. Check him out.
Facebook.
On the Facebooks. But that was a big impetus for me too, just like seeing the way that these people lived and incorporated art into their lives was different than any other city that I lived in.
Yeah, very inspiring place.
So it was France
even just
before
with the
that.
clothing.
Yeah, costumes and the Mardi Gras. Because you still have bags of beads with that, which is just a testament on how many beads they throw out down there. We would give you all those, but you were working in a bead studio down there, an art studio.
Yeah, I had that apprenticeship. Steve Wanger, German guy.
Yeah, and he was doing bead art, very process driven in my opinion. Basically, what he'd do is he would create. I don't know what the style is.
He would usually go off of photos.
Yeah.
He called them, mosaics.
Mosaics.
Yeah.
So just recreating all of the colors in that picture with the beads, with the Mardi Gras beads.
He did a lot of cool portraits, and I helped him work on a cityscape. Yeah,
the cityscape was really, really cool. That was like 3 doors down from the place that me and Jonathan worked at. It's just no longer there. But that was a different thing too, because those things would take, 200, 300, 400 hours to create.
Yeah, a lot of time.
Which to me, I'm just like, I don't know.
I think I helped him finish maybe 3 or 4 buildings in 1 week.
Did you like doing that?
It was, was cool. It was a cool experience to learn for sure. I don't think I could be doing that all day, every day.
Yeah, I think it'd probably be a little bit, it would just be mundane after a little bit, but just to learn the process of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cool, I feel like from that city gives people so much, and that was one of the best times that I think I've ever had, especially for the time. I think we were all in the same mindset of like drinking and eating a lot. So it's like, if that's what you want to do in that town, then it's like the coolest town.
Hurricane time.
Yeah, hurricane
probably
time.
The best time ever.
We went through a hurricane. Isaac. And just stand in the middle of the streets and be able to lean back and hold up. It was 5 of us and 2 dogs in a house for 4 days. Just got so drunk for 4 days, and it was a blast.
A lot of barbecuing.
A lot of barbecuing indoors, a lot of beans and rice that barely worked because you guys had a gas stove. And that's something that, like, you know, I never ever saw myself going through. Like, you'd never ever see for yourself, but it's kind of an interesting thing to at least have the memory of going through it.
Yeah.
So then after that, you were living down there for a couple of years, and then you're like, I'm out.
Yeah. I don't know what I think I was just missing out on too much of the family stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Because at that point, you'd been away from home for...
between 2 and 3 years, I guess.
Yeah.
But...
Because Columbia, you're pretty close.
And...
Yeah, you got a decently big family. You got some brothers and sisters, some kids.
Yeah. Yeah, 4 nieces and nephews.
So you wanted to come back and see the little bays.
Yeah.
They're cute. They're super, super cute. I think you get to that point, and we're the same way. I mean, I'm moving back in like a year, and I never thought I'd ever get to the point where I was like, I want to move back and live close to all my parents and family and stuff, but...
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, especially when you go away and you see how other people are living. Like, we got taken in by a couple families down there, you know, even like the Bouldersons and stuff, who like took us in and made them a part of their family. But like that, I think you learn to miss that just because you see how cool these families are.
Yeah.
All over this country.
They were something.
That was crazy. It was these people for out there listening, it'll be the quick recap. We worked at a restaurant down there with just this wild family that ran it, and debauchery ensued. I got punched in the face by his brother-in-law on Halloween one night, which was the day Newman, I think of all of it. That's where it was. I was like, something's got to change. But so yeah, so you,
phone call, yeah.
Oh yeah, give me a text message to apologize. If you ever punch somebody in the face, give them a phone call. I'm not bitter about it still, and I think the listeners can tell that I'm over it. I don't think about it 3 to 7 times a week. I don't, because I'm a grown up. Give a phone call. Give a phone call. Oh goodness. So yeah, you moved back to St. Louis to be a part, and that's where you're at now.
Yeah, still live somewhere new, but be close.
And yeah, city that you've never lived in your entire life, but also that you've known about too, and I'm sure you'd spent some time here before that.
Yeah, a little bit. My sister went to school up here. Mm-hmm. She went to Webster.
Oh,
so
cool.
I come up and visit her every once in a while.
Nice. That's where I grew up. That's where I was raised in the old. That's a pretty darn good college for being in just like a little tiny town, a little really small town right outside the city of St. Louis.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Mm-hmm. I've never been. My mom went and she said she loved it. So you came up here a little bit to visit, and now what are you currently doing now here?
Oh, well, I'm just working. I'm working full-time doing the art stuff.
Yeah, so you had a job for a little while, and then you recently made the choice to go full-time off the art, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I had a pretty cool job doing some leather work.
Yeah, super stuff they were doing, like using that, like, what, $10,000 etcher to etch these iPad cases?
Yeah, working with lasers and all kinds of machines.
And they let you use the laser cutters and stuff after they were done using them and stuff, too.
Yeah, I had to deal with the boss that I could use them during my lunch break, so I had 45 minutes every day to cut something out.
Which is so cool, I mean, for them to give you that creative thing. And that was another medium that you'd never seen before, too.
Yeah.
But is unbelievable.
Yeah, I need one now.
Yeah. After you just use it for so long, like that's something that I have to have.
Yeah.
We have like a little tiny pendant that you made of our dog that we still have at our house, but it's like the size of a fingernail, but it's so detailed because of those etchers.
Yeah. Yeah, that was just off a photo, and it just engraved it, lowered the power down on it, and otherwise raise the power. You can cut all the way through.
Yeah.
They're really cool. You can do almost anything on them.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Just almost like a 3D printer that you could be able to carve stuff in wood out on that, which is really cool. But I mean, we're getting down to the end of the first episode. That's how quick these things go, right? I told you they were going to be faster. You were a little nervous before. Now we're powering through it. Almost done.
Painless.
Right? Pretty painless. No stress. Just a little bit of fun. Some menial conversation with this guy. But before we do get out of here, do you want to give everybody all your information so they can get in touch with you online and stuff like that?
Oh, well, I'm just Killy Power, and I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and I got a little Etsy shop going.
Nice.
Yeah, I got some prints on there, so.
Cool. That's awesome. Everybody check her out on that. You can always find our stuff. Words with Wayman on Twitter, Words with Wayman on Facebook, everybody. I want to thank you for coming out and doing this with me so much. No problem. That has been part 1, everybody. We will be back super shortly with part 2. Thank you all so much again for listening.